Hey, Teddy here. In case if y'all wondering, where's my E3 vlog on from what you got to me say in the beginning of the video just now? Well, originally I was gonna do my E3 vlog today, but for whatever reason, if I can be completely honest on when I will do my E3 vlog, let's just say it's been decided on my behalf to wait until say once the next Nintendo Direct passes. Long story on that, but yeah. As for what else I've been up to, I will say. Now, something I always do say about myself whenever I can would be of how that I would consider putting out more and more parodies as much as I can, I will say. Well, there's one I'm currently editing right now, which, well, I plan to release by the end of this year, just in time for the 30th anniversary of Hook. This time being, yes, another steamed Hams dub, this time based on Captain Hook. And no, people, I am not done doing steamed Hams just yet. In fact, I got plenty more parodies coming out soon. And speaking of which, I will say, in case if you all haven't noticed by now, not too long ago, I recently opened up a Buy Me a Coffee page, where basically for how it would work with supporting me there, basically you'd have to buy me either a sugar-free drink I like, or a gift card to either a restaurant I like, or a $100 Alamo Drafthouse gift card. So you can be there to commission me to arrange whatever it is you want, just as long as it's piano sheet music you can find on MuseScore, I will say. But then once you pitched me whatever it is you want me to arrange for you to play, this would be where, well, I would quote you a price that I will make you pay to me, you know? And to give you an idea how we're supporting my Buy Me a Coffee, it's basically you'd be there to commission me music arrangements to help support my YouTube channel. As for the next fundraiser, you guys can help me support. To all my very, very loyal supporters to all my very loyal fans and supporters who are non-musicians who still wish to donate their money for my creative dreams, well, the next virtual fundraiser won't be until Thanksgiving, I will say. Then after that comes Christmas, and then comes Valentine's Day, and yeah. If you're a non-musician who's still willing to follow my creative dreams, I will say, I got 2 more virtual fundraisers coming soon on Facebook. One for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas, I will say. And if I can be honest, what I've been funding as of lately, in case if y'all wondering what's been going on with my uncensored Ariel's transformation video, it's still happening in just that, well, certain events occurred behind the scenes which I'd rather not talk about, you know? However, it currently wouldn't be the only thing I'd be fundraising, I will say, you know? Once I'm done funding, one last time hopefully, for my uncensored Air transformation video, this is where we can expect me to help fundraise for not one, but 2 post-credit scenes for a future Steamed Hams dub. And if y'all curious on what I decided to do for the next 2 projects that I would consider raising money for once I'm done funding my transformation video, well, the first one will be, of course, for a post-end credit scene for an upcoming Steamed Hams dub that I intend to release next year. This time, it'll be for my Steamed Hams Star Wars Clone Wars dub, I will say, which I intend to release just in time for the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. However, once I'm done funding with that, would also come another post-end credits scene for future Steamed Hams dub. This time it would be this. Now, something I will say I still continuously get requests to do to no end, even up to this day, would be to make a parody that involved use of Scott the Woz, which I will say is still not happening for a number of reasons, and here's why. No, people, I do not hate Scott the Woz at all. In fact, I actually enjoy watching some of his videos when I want to. If anything, well, here's where the first things go wrong with how I can typically do something, at least if I were my own. Like, for example, with the case for if I did consider making a Mind Song parody that involved the use of Scott the Woz, it would be where, to keep this long story short, there's so many videos of him to use of, say, if I consider making a Mind Song parody, when you hear him say, "Hey y'all, Scott," yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. Whereas with the case of the idea of making a Steamed Hams Scott the Woz dub, I will say, one thing I will say for sure is that when understanding the technicality of Steamed Hams, basically, if you were to adapt Steamed Hams to something that can go along the lines of a play, basically you would need not 1, not 2, but 3 actors to play per part by maximum. For when understanding the story of Steamed Hams, there would only be not 1, not 2, but 3 different characters that anyone can play. Now, with the case of Scott the Woz, I will honestly say, he's only one guy. And if I ever did consider making a Steamed Hams Scott the Woz dub, this is where I just knew I would always have to ask myself, who else should I use in the other 2 parts? Because, when making a Steamed Hams parody in general, basically you would need to make sure that you figure out in advance who you want to play per part in each parody that gets made. Like, for example, to give you all an idea on how I would handle making my own Steam Hams dubs, usually it would be inevitable that, well, that I always have to figure out in advance on who gets to play who exactly. Pick which three characters I like. Say I feel like making a Steam Hams dub based on a really popular franchise. Of course, it would be a no-brainer on my behalf that I would have to pick three characters. I just got to pick three characters for me to use per parody for me to make, you know? And yeah. And please don't get us here, Macedo Productions, the whole started on the idea of making an Ariel transformation parody of starring Scott the Western part of Ariel. Let alone just let him be used as a Porn Fortress 4 Epic Browse movie. All that is not happening. You'll see why. You'll see why I always say that I'm not gay. Well, when understanding, and yet I'm straight. Well, when understanding the correct definition on how I can tell someone is gay, that if I were gay, I would be in love with men. However, being somebody who is technically sexually in love with women, that's why I always say I'm straight, you know? So I can see why, one of many reasons why I called Azuchi Guardian as a retard. Well, storing that, but on all that, but yeah, you know? But yeah, you know. But yeah, when it comes to the idea of making Scott the Wazoo transformation, it is not happening. And it would be against my sexuality in doing so, you know? And yeah, the reason why you'll never see me or anyone us here at Mercedes Press as a whole make an air transformation parody, let alone just let Scott the Waz use as a porn fortress. So it would explain how that it would be a bad idea for the same exact crap to come behalf of Anima, Mr. Code, Nostalgia Critic, David Video Game Nerd, Wario, Morgan Ledger, Jaime Toon, Huey Toonmore, shout out to Sam, some Drake of the Camera, Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, Link, and yeah, even Goku as well. All not happening as a Macedo produced project, I would say. Not gonna lie, you know. Even my friend Dante can most certainly agree with me in such ideas like this, you know. As well as pretty much everybody who knows Epic Battle stuff can tell you that for a fact, but yeah. Now that I got all that out of the way, here's something. Here are some more things I will say I feel need to be addressed. Now, an age-old question that I answered in my last update vlog would be regarding why I'm on an age-old question I was having continuously being asked on when I got to move on from this regard, which really I've all did. In fact, certain reasons I did point out on why I keep talking about Azuchi Guardian, I guess you say, can also understandably explain of how, well... Now, there's a good reason why the fridge, I will admit, I'm not gonna lie about myself when I'm me say this. I most certainly have been continuously hesitant to no end when I hear anyone say that nobody cares about Azuchi Guardian, let alone just everybody hates him, because the reality about Azuchi Guardian is that not everybody hates him. And if I can be completely honest, why the fridge? I've been hesitant to believe such a thing. Well, the only reason why I've been continuously hesitant as of lately to believe such a lie is because, you know, as it can come to my understanding on my behalf, I get too much hate in life, especially for the wrong reasons, which is why I've been very hesitant on believing such a thing about his guardian. I know I shouldn't have to always worry about what trolls have to say, let alone just haters generally do way forget the idea, but still. There had to be times like this when I'm just doing my job, knowing my own limits, obviously, But, yeah. And, what else do I need to say? Oh, yes. Right. And, another thing that I feel like needs to be addressed would be, well, oh, yes, right. And in case if you're wondering whether or not I will ever do vlogs based on New York Comic Con and Super Smash Con this year, with the case of Comic Con, I will say, maybe at the moment, even though I will not be going for more personal reasons, I will say. Whereas Super Smash Con, I will say, as much as I would have loved to if I could, that is sadly not happening due to, well, to keep this long story short, as much as I would love to go to Super Smash Con if I could, I sadly can't for this year, not just because of COVID, but also rather, well, at the time when it's being held for this year, I would have been busy with this. At the time when Super Smash Con would be operating this year, I would have been busy with a family matter. But if I can be honest with said family matter would be, let's just say my cousin Jackie's getting married, I will say. And, yeah. And, yeah. And, yeah. And before I go conclude this video, well, let's end off this season's vlog with a bang, aka the final update vlog for this year, 2021, with a bang by sharing my thoughts regarding the ADA. Now, if I can be completely honest on why the fridge I would want to do an update vlog, bringing up the ADA of all things, well, it's a rather completely longer story, It's a rather long story, I will say. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, the ADA stands for the Americans with Disabilities Act. But when knowing what the D stands for as part of the ADA, you know that I have autism, right? But the sad thing about how I handle the fact that I have autism would be, well, ever since dating all the way back when I was in high school, that it can't always be common that I would get so much disrespect related to my disability, It is a total shame, that I have to deal with people like that. I mean, the internet would do anything to do stuff like this, I would do against my disability, Like, for example, the worst offender on what on how I can a common thing that people like them would do that would be against my disability would be whenever I hear anyone say that I ask pointless questions, you know. As I have been saying all over and over again, I have no problem letting there be a point within certain questions I'll be asking when I want to be, you know. Like there be two I would bring up as prime examples in this being when I asked how much back in 2014 on South American Tail Fighter Goes West, and when I feel like asking fellow gamers on whether or not they got to play two rated games under the age of 13. However, there are certain other questions I would consider asking within reason what I want to be. Like, for example, if I can ask the Death Battle, if I can ask Spensinger any question I would have loved to ask him, I will say, would be his stance on Waluigi, if so, on whether or not Waluigi will be in Death Battle. Which I think would be great if he could, where he'd be, where, you know, if there's anyone who I feel deserves to fight against Shadow in Death Battle, has to be Waluigi, you know? And, yeah, when being completely honest with what I'm consider asking about him, not only do I like to see Waluigi pop up in Death Battle myself, see him fighting against Shadow, but also on top of that, I will say, when we speak about Waluigi of all people, there is no denying of how that you have a lot of people who do like him. He does have a big fan base, so warrant that. After all, characters from My Little Pony can be in Death Battle as well as characters such as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are either fridge not Waluigi, as well as a number of other Mario characters, as well as characters from other Nintendo games as well. But yeah. And another question I would consider asking within these movie, well, if I can ask Animat any question I wish for a future Q&A if I could, well, something I will say I'm curious on regarding what Animat on his behalf did his top 10 other Disney villains count to that? As you may recall when as we as Animat fans may recall back when Animat on his behalf made his top 10 best animated sequels list, you'll notice that when he included The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, as part of the entire list, well, let's just say he did say Animat on his behalf did actually state of how that, well, that he does find Zero to be a better. He did say that he did like Zero. However, something I find to be surprising to see happen when Animat on his behalf make on his top 10 other Disney villains countdown would be, well, why he didn't include Zero as part of his top 10 other Disney villains. For do you realize that Zero has technically come to remove from a Disney movie, an animated Disney movie that is not a part of the Disney canon, you know? And one understanding on how Animat would consider making his own top 10 list based on what he would say are the other Disney villains is to count different people gratefully count down what he thinks are the top 10 greatest Disney villains, not from Walt Disney Animated Studios, but still coming from Disney themselves, you know? And then, of course, yeah. And yeah, it is just sad that I have to get so much disrespect relating to my disability. And on top of that, it's a shame that I get so much hate in life which I will admit I would always use on why the fridge I've been very, very hesitant on believing why I will admit I find it hard to believe when I hear anyone for that matter say that everybody hates Zuzu Garden, I will say. However, one thing I will say for sure if I had to play things like such moments like this is that if I did not have a brain and if it weren't for certain events happening to me, then maybe maybe I can believe such a thing. See how much hate I get in life? I just can't. I just cannot believe such a lie, I'm sorry to say. But anyways, that'll be all for this season's update vlog, let alone the last update vlog for fall of 2021. Hopefully I will see you all in the next upload. Bye.